Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do a grungy yellow eyeshadow look. It's going to be a perfect look for autumn, and I have in front of me 3 Melt Cosmetics palettes. Got the Smoke Sessions, 420, and Gemini. Between the 3, I think I'll be able to create a pretty cool look. 420 in particular has like this bright yellow, but of course I'm gonna grunge it up, but at the same time, it's gonna be still a pretty wearable look, I think. Foundation's on, brows are on. I'm going to go straight into bronzer and blush and then the eyes. I'm gonna use this Danessa Myricks Balm Contour. This was something I picked up a little while ago and it's pretty pigmented. You have to be mindful. But I do like when I'm doing a yellow look, a grungy look, to look very warm in general in the complexion. So taking something quite pigmented like this and just really working it into the skin and just looking in general like warmer, more tan, I just find it suits the look a lot. So it's a good opportunity to go a little bit more heavy-handed with a bronzer. And even though it's so pigmented though, you can really blend it out. And I went in with like a good amount, but you can shear it out. I always, with my bronzer, I don't think I mention this too often, but I like to start at the end of my eye and bring it up into the temple. I like how it creates kind of this dimension here, and then I leave this mostly blank and then go here. Just a very small touch on the perimeter of the jaw, just to like bring everything in together. Now, as per your guys' recommendation, I was struggling with a sponge the other day, just trying to use a sponge, but you guys recommended like using it after you've done your brush and everything, dampening it a little bit, putting a bit of setting spray on it, and then going in with it. And I did it with the foundation. I thought it was nice. It just like picked up any extra product, blended things, set things. So just very softly getting the edges a little bit more blended and just like getting this really into the skin. For blush, I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm gonna start with a little bit more of a vivid blush. So just like a classic pink. This is from Danessa Myricks as well, actually. And just a tiny bit. Keeping it kind of a little bit higher. Just really blending it into the bronzer I started with. And then I'm going to take this fairly like pale, kind of neutrally blush from Laura Mercier. It's the shade Chai. And I'm going to place that on top. I don't want to go in with anything like too vivid. Actually, there might have been something left on this brush, actually. As I said, I didn't want anything too vivid, but anyway, I'm just gonna use this to blend together the blush and bronzer and like set it down a little bit. I'm not going in with anything too like orange or bright or vivid, which is generally what I aim for with blush. There was definitely something a little bit left on there. I think the Rare Beauty Luminous blush, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna set down a little bit. I've been back into this powder from NARS. It's the soft matte one. And it has a bit of pigment to it, so it will help just a touch with extra coverage if need be. So it's a pretty neutral base for me because I really want the yellows to stand out and I want that little bit of color on the cheeks without it competing. I will put a little bit of highlighter on, a gold one. This is from Vieve. It's bijou. I think they discontinued this actually, the powder highlighter, and I know why, because it has kind of these flakes of shimmer in it, but it was a bit of an odd choice for the brand, to be honest. But it is a very nice shade. I'm going to go straight in with the bright yellow. This is the shade Wax from the 420 palette. Getting that on both sides of this brush, tapping off any excess, and going straight into the center of the eyelid. I'm just gonna lay down the shade gently over, most of the lid. Turning the brush to get into the crease. And I'm not worried too much about like the shape of it because I'm gonna be layering it with other shades to blend it out. So we're just going straight in. I did put a bit of concealer on my eyes earlier, which is always great to help brighten the eyelid when you're using any kind of bright color. And yellow is like apparently like an infamously like difficult color of eyeshadow to mix because it almost has a translucency to it. You can tell, like, it reminds me of literally using a highlighter. Boom, eye looks done. That's fun though. I'm gonna take the Gemini palette and use this shade that's like a mustardy shade called Lorelei. Hello, Gilmore Girls. I like this shade because it's still like very much in the yellow color story, but this is how you start to get it to have a bit more depth, a bit more feeling of it being like a kind of natural yellow. If anyone has the Melt Rust palette, that has a great mustard in it as well. So I'm gonna take this, the outer part of the eye, and already like, I don't know, something about these two shades, it's like, I don't know, it reminds me of like a dandelion or something. And frankly, just these two shades together, maybe a bit of a winged liner, really, that'd be a really pretty look on its own. And I'm gonna take this shade under the lash line. Once again, from the Melt Gemini, this shade here, Luna. I'm gonna use that to help blend the edges and start to fix up the blend. Any like neutral, lighter, warmer shade would be perfect for this. Like this can go really up to the brow bone because it's similar to my skin tone. Okay, let's start to grunge it up a little more. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, Dank, with this little domed brush. I like these types of brushes for starting to like press in to the eye rather than like diffuse and sweep. It's great for just like doing this. That has like a little bit of green to it, keeping that a little bit more contained than the other shade. It's right there. Here. Basically on this part of the lower lash line, like connecting it to the blend up here. I find it's a really nice way to like add, you know, more depth and smokiness. Like if you're keeping it contained here, but still, that's where you're keeping it more wearable instead of bringing the darker shadows well into the eye. You're just like really focusing it here and here, but still getting a similar effect. I'm gonna put a touch of shimmer using the Melt Smoke Sessions. I love these shimmers for like grungy, greeny golds. This is the shade I think I'm gonna use, Granddaddy. I'm gonna start by just putting it lightly here, kind of halfway between the yellow and the smoky green. So it's acting as like a bridge between the two shades. You know, it's not like a sparkly shimmer, it just has like a metallic sheen to it. And I think I'm gonna stick with this shimmer rather than adding this one, Gravity OG, because this is when it starts to move into like more gold territory, and then it feels like you're doing a gold makeup look instead of like a yellow makeup look. You want to keep some of that matte yellow that was initially laid down instead of covering it up with like gold eyeshadow. I feel pretty happy where this is right now. It was really quick to put together, actually, all things considered. But I think I will deepen along the lash line, probably with a black, I think. Just Bonnie from the Gemini palette. And take one of these tiny, tiny pencil brushes, tap that into the black, tap it off, and work it into the lash line. Just smoke it out. I'm gonna try some new lashes today, and they are these ones from Velour. Really loved them. They're like little lash clusters, but I find when I did it the other day, I should have laid down a little bit more depth along the lash line just to help them blend. I'm going to take this little single from Makeup Forever. Pan this a lot, obviously, because it's a good companion for any kind of darker palettes. Just so you have a brightening shade that's, very similar to one's skin tone, my skin tone. And I'll just brighten up the inner corner, clean up any blend that may have happened there. Just subtly bring that under the brow bone. I'm gonna pop this eye pencil in the waterline. It's Ivory from Melt. I used to have a gold pencil, that would have been cool. I'm gonna pop off to do mascara, but I'm gonna show you these new lashes because I'm still figuring them out. They're kind of new to me, but I want to show you like the effect and difference it makes. Having a little bit of a half lash really helps with a grungy look to make it feel like more put together, adding that contrast, making it feel a little bit more wearable in some ways, so that if you have thinner lashes, it's not like the eyeshadow's not like overwhelming the lash, if that makes sense. So I just want to show you that difference. I shall be one moment in movie time. Okay, lashes. So the lashes I'm using are from Velour, and these are the volume lash clusters. So you have there's like the long, medium, and short. And I just have a couple I'm reusing from yesterday, and I took the medium and the short. What I like about them so far is that they have a really nice like curve to them. So they like curve in nicely. And sticking with the medium and the short makes it like a nice volumized lash without it being like super glam. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to that for now. So what I did was I started with this tiny little lash, the medium one. So trying out the lash glue from Velour as well. Little paintbrush. Looks kind of similar to the Duo one I normally use. Yeah, you can almost see this like bit of blue tint to it that the Duo glue also has when it's like still wet. What I like about half lashes, lash clusters is you can start to place them even when the glue's still wet because they're so light. They're not really gonna move around that much. So I'm just gonna wedge it really into that lash line, and there you go. I'm gonna take the short one and doing the same thing. There we go. So it's like a nicely volumized lash, but it's not too overwhelming. It's not too long. And I find it really suits like a kind of grungy look like this. So yeah, I'm gonna do the other eye and let's decide on the lips. I think I'm gonna try a neutral lip, like a very nude shade, which I never do. I don't even remember the last time I did that. And I don't think I've ever done it on this YouTube channel, which is hilarious. So we'll see if I like it. But yeah, I'm gonna do the other eye first. So for the lipstick, I'm gonna try out Vieve 90s, a just super nude style lipstick. I'm gonna put the lipstick on and then think about which liner I'd like to pair with it, if I like it. It's very nude. If you hear a strange sound, it is the cat snoring behind me. It's been a while. Okay, see, in order for me to like a color like this, I'm definitely gonna have to vamp up or darken up the lip line a little bit. I think I'll try Vieve Bark because it's a brown, a dark brown, and I think it'll help kind of match what's going on the eye. Yeah, that's already looks so much better. And I think lastly, I want to add just a touch of gloss. I find just like nude lips can look kind of flat on me, and that's definitely its own look for sure. It's very kind of 90s, but I like it to have a little bit more lift. So I'm going to put a touch of gloss. This one's from, I am embarrassed. I don't know how to say it. Da Vinci? Ah. And it's the shade Prisma Glass. It's in the same color story. Givenchy. Givenchy. That's what it is. Givenchy. Okay, duh. Yeah. This is the finished makeup look. This was fun because it was pretty different for me in some ways, just with the lip and cheek pairing. But I think it works because you're really letting the eyes have all the attention. And then these like kind of warm but light shades just like settle into the background a bit to let the eyes pop and seem more like kind of glam rather than competing with like a darker lip. Although I think a really dark brown lip would also be very cool if you're in the mood for really going dark and grungy for sure. But this is fun to mix it up for me today. I'm happy to bust out a nude lip for you guys. I never do. But yeah, I think for me the secret is adding the darker lip line and a little bit of gloss. And I feel like same goes for like the complexion with it being a little bit kind of lighter and more subdued, just making sure to have that dimension happening with the highlighter and like the warmth from the bronzer. So yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked it. Definitely comment down below if there's any other like fall makeup looks you want me to do, if there's a color you really want to see, whether it's as specific as like a Merlot red or something like that, you know? I know one of you was requesting like the gloomy side of autumn. So like when it's all gray skies out, I feel like I'm going to save that for November when it's starting to get a little bleak. And I think that's it for today. Toasty, let's take it away. Hello, little autumn boy. Let's get you nice and centered. There you go. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to support the channel and see more of me and Toasty. And yeah, until next time, may you all find yourselves a little bit of makeup magic, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, witches. Let me down. Let me down.